Hello Tubesters, another video. Yes, I apologise. As I say, stop looking at the box, Gavin, and speak to the nice people. Right, yeah, I apologise. People have been putting some comments down, and it just happens to be that I've gone and checked them out, and it's a channel that I fancied subbing to, and so I've shouted them out. Sometimes in the past I normally wait until I've got 2 or 3 and then I'll shout them out together. It's just that I knew I'd got a fair amount of videos on in the next week or so for you, and I prefer to get them, I prefer to shout them out as I happen to come across them. So, it's probably putting more videos out than you probably want to watch, and I apologise for that. Just pick and choose what you want to watch and whatever, that's fine. You know what I'm like, I can never say I go away for more than a week, but sometimes I slow down, sometimes I don't. I've literally just had a parcel drop about an hour ago, which is, as the title would have already suggested, and the photograph hopefully, it's Star Wars Legion. This is I believe, does it say? It doesn't actually say it's from Fantasy Flight Games, but it says it on the inside stuff. Anyway, it's the Dewback. My Mara, thank you for that. My Mara, Ian Aitken has painted a fair few of them, I believe. And I just was really taken with him. I remember him in the films. As I say, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I just used to love all the aliens, the different creatures, and we've got a Dewback here, which I believe was seen in Mos Eisley. I can't remember. Was it on when they were actually looking at when they were in the capsule? Was it the droids or were they on Banthas then? I believe they were on these Dewbacks. I'm not 100% sure. It says the Star Wars fan, but yeah. I was just so impressed with this. I'd intended to do. I was on a bit of a Star Wars trot at the moment, and as I say, I've been buying up a lot of the old 90s books that I used to have, and I ended up giving them away, and I always regretted it. And I've been buying them up where I can for I can't say 50 pence, but 80 pence here, a quid there, not en masse. All right, probably get a few in one hit, but I'll just get them as I go. I've also got a couple of audio comics. No, not audio comics. Graphic novels is the word Gav was after, of the Bounty Hunter, War of the Bounty Hunter. I've never owned a graphic novel in my life, and I was actually quite impressed. I was having them more for the artwork because I'd fancied painting, doing some 3D prints of Star Wars-esque figures, and that aren't really Star Wars figures. But I fancied printing a few of those off and painting them maybe in a more vibrant cartoon style than I normally painting. And that takes a bit of learning, hence the 3D printing side of it. This isn't, obviously, and I will obviously be getting some more because I can't sell the prints. I was so impressed with this guy here that I may well hopefully get a couple more to pay for the one I bought, or sell this one, but you know what I mean. But I've got to have one for my own collection because I just think they're fantastic. So yeah, brilliant figure, really well sculpted. We'll have a look in a second. Again, bought it from an eBay supplier, but again, not somebody operating out of the house. It was from a store, and again, it was just put in a jiffy bag. And then the postie, new guy for this, obviously, whether it's the COVID or whatever, but not a regular, and chucked it over the fence, over the gate. I've got a big 7-foot high gate. Look, I was in the garden at the time with a pot. Between the packing and whacking it over the gate, not massively impressed. As I said to you guys, they really do take the mickey out of us, as we say over here. How they deliver stuff, and it's all around the world. I know we've all moved online, and it's giving everybody an excuse to put some really rough service. I don't expect a really well presented box, and it's got. I'm lucky that it's a box within a. Well, it's divided off anyway. I'll show you in a second, but it was really well packed. But again, if that was, and it's come perfect, but it could well has ended up like the Lord of the Rings box I showed you, where if you were giving it as a gift, you know, it wouldn't have been on. So again, another bricks and mortar store that isn't living up to, and I can't even remember what it is. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have, because there's nothing wrong with this. I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have mentioned them, but it's getting a bit boring now, having stuff just popped in jiffy bags and they think that's okay. You know, we're paying our hard-earned money and we're putting them with your stores. And I believe, you know, as I keep saying, anybody that's got a store, think about, it's not just how cheap you throw something out there, or it's a Star Wars Legion, so somebody's going to buy it anyway. You know, have a bit of thought, you know, build your base of your customers up, because they'll keep coming back. But if you're going to just chuck them in, I'll try and remember all these. Yeah, I know with my head, but I go back to my eBay and I look, and I try and not deal with the same. Even if I've got to spend £4, £5 more on something, rather than have it just chucked in a jiffy bag with absolutely zero care, you know. Anyway, let's stop moaning about stores and let's start praising up this Fantasy Fight game figure, because it really needs it. Check you down at the table. See what I did there. Right guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. At the moment we're seeing a dry fitted, so no glue, just been pushed together. I wanted to show you it as a built up Dewback and rider, rather than in its multiple parts, just because you know what it's like when you come to try and stick something together on camera, it don't work, even if it will, you know. And I didn't want to start, you know, ragging on something that was just my stupidity. So this is a dry fitted Star Wars Dewback. Let's get in a bit closer. Plastic, from what it feels like. I can't remember the price, honestly, guys. It was £22 and £3 something delivery, I believe. I think that is well worth the money. You know, sometimes you buy stuff, as we all know, and it does not meet expectations. There is a little roll of something, like bed roll or something that goes on, I believe probably over the back, just covering that small gap there. They've really thought about this. I mean, Ian had said he was really impressed, and by the time he'd done his cracking paint jobs on them, they were fantastic. You know, you really got the feel for the model. It comes in multiple parts, as does a Stormtrooper. I'm going to show you the extra bits that you get as well, that you can make several variants up. I'm wondering, I may not do it on this figure because I've never magnetised anything before, but I was wondering whether I get myself, I might well get another one of these and see if I can magnetise the arms, the head, literally see if you can change the pose. You're not going to be able to change the pose of the Dewback, I believe, unless you're going to start doing some, which you could do, but you know, doing some surgical, like removing of tail and then repositioning it in that, and you know, I don't really see the sense in that. But look at that, I really am impressed with that. And the way, if you look at it at the moment before I disassemble it, because it hasn't been cleaned or anything yet, so it's got to be disassembled. I've got the it's the Mark 21 something blaster rifle. Yes, it looks like a Lewis gun, because obviously in the original films they were filmed in the UK, so a lot of the ubiquitous Stormtrooper blasters were British Sterling machine guns with the magazines cut down and stuff like that. We've obviously got a Lewis gun here without the pan on top. There is, which I'll show you in a minute, an MG34. Now, I am not breaking the magic of Star Wars here, because I'm quite happy to believe that's a Mark 21 blaster rifle. You know, so yeah, let's just disassemble. So we'll go with the Stormtrooper first. Legs are stuck to the they're not stuck, they're moulded onto the Dewback itself. Let's remove our backpack. That's the probably tightest fitting, and very slight sanding if you wanted to, just to get the pressure off that. Let's remove his head. As I say, I've got to clean these and clean them up hot water or IPA. I do like using IPA on them with a brush. So that's our Stormtrooper disassembled. Come on, Gav, show us. There we go. Now I know you guys, there's loads of people out there been playing the Star Wars Legion game, and this is absolutely nothing new to you. I understand that. But this is for all my other Maras out there that may be into Star Wars, like myself, don't actually play the game and just might be interested in it as something to paint and collect, as I would do. Because I think that's actually fantastic. Right, let's, can't remember how many parts now. Come on, remove head. Head breaks down into 2 parts. And the body breaks down into halves. Very well thought out. And when you could, I mean, once you put a bit, you know, you could, I would advise glue obviously, but you know, if you didn't put glue on there, the tolerances are quite tight, but they all fit. Well, if you put that on, they all fit. Let me get it round the right way, Gav. But when you look, you know, there's, I will probably put in a bit of IPA watered down filler in some places, but it really doesn't need it, because you could just say that's the undercut of the harness. A very slight sanding in a couple of places. There is a very slight, I said to Tom, old Tom, there wasn't a mould line. There obviously had to be a mould line as it's plastic, but it's very, very minimum. Bit of a scalp. I wouldn't use a sander there. I'd just gently pick it out with a scalpel blade. But I am really impressed with that. So you get, that's me making that one up. You also get, again, you know, the guys that do this obviously know all this anyway, but it's for people like me that just enjoy painting this type of thing. There's no sprue with these, they just come loose. Sorry about the bag. A very slight bend. It's plastic at the end of the day. These are gaming pieces, you know, but if you really were so inclined, you could make that into metal, but I personally wouldn't. But again, I'm just wondering, it's getting closer. You know, by cutting the blocks off, could you actually magnetise? And I probably would practice on this guy. So I've just dry fitted his helmet on there. And this is a, I can't remember all the, they are on the cards here, but I'm not going to muck around now. This is a flamer, I believe. Is this a stun? I think this is a stun pole of some description. Here's our slightly bent, but not overly bent, MG34, which isn't an MG34, another blaster rifle. You can see all they've done is remove the butt from the end. We've even still got the MG34 magazine. Yeah, I know, I'm spoiling the magic, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying that what they actually used in the originals to get through. You know, obviously now things are a lot more, you know, they look like as if they've been made in another universe rather than not on our own. Here's our blanket roll, bed roll, which I presume, without looking, sits at the back maybe, does it? It probably does. Yeah, something like that. Again, so that'll hide a lot of the very slight gap that you've got there. I think that's everything. As I say, the hands, because the hands are moulded on some of them, you use different arms, and then obviously you've got the extra is it communication stroke moisture box. Right guys, when your wife gets in on one of your videos with a mobile phone. Never mind. Right, last bit. We get a base, as you would do. I believe they are firing arcs, according to watching somebody's video last week. Sorry about the scrunchy noises. I'm just going to quickly get these main cards out, just so you've seen them. Again, the core players know all this anyway, but that's our Dewback rider, saying what it is. And it is a T21 blaster, which is the one I had mocked up. A RT97C blaster rifle, which was our MG34. The flame rifle, CR24. I did fancy getting one of these tom-toms, and I may well be doing that. I like the look of that one as well. Phone again. Got our Wookie. And a comms jammer. Right guys, that is my Star Wars. Oh, and you get to punch out some tokens as well for the game. That's my look at the Dewback. Now, what I half passed through my mind earlier on, let's try and get that card without wrecking things. What had passed through my mind earlier on when I got this was I might start doing a series, Gav Paint Star Wars. Who knows? I did fancy it. So whether they'll be Fantasy Flight games, they will be fairly regular. I mean, these things aren't massively cheap. I'm on a budget, so it depends. I might well just obviously paint one and then sell them. I can get me obviously 3D printed ones that I print off. So I might be doing some of those. I've been looking at some Boba Fett ones because I can get those in different poses. But yeah. I was looking at Sorrestro's work on the different model tanks and stuff like that. I mean, when I'm saying pricey, I mean, you know, we don't think anything of going out and spending £50 on a model tank, so spending £40 odd on, which is still a model, and I think I'm not sure if they're from Atomic Mass Games or not, but yeah, to get an actual model. You know, it's about 40 odd quid, and I did half think of doing that, but I wouldn't keep it, and then it's a case of can I get my money back selling it, you know, not so much mercenary wise, it just funds other projects, that's all. So I don't know, it's something I might look into, but definitely impressed with this, and I'd definitely do another one, and I'd definitely have a go on one of those tom-toms as well. I just like the colours of these, but I'm just really impressed on the actual build quality of the actual kit. It's kit, whatever you want to call it, gaming piece, whatever. But you definitely do that to a collector's standard, and or a gaming standard. Whatever floated your boat. As I say, it's well worth the money spent. I'm glad of that. Oh, that comes off as well, by the way. This I'll take it off now while I think about it. They've all got to be cleaned up, as I say. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look. As I say, I'm flooding you with videos at the moment, so you know, obviously pick and choose what you want to watch. Obviously if you're not into Star Wars, you're not going to want to watch this one, but I was just really I'd seen Ian's, but you know, that bloke can make anything look good with paintwork, and I wasn't 100%, you know, it's more money, blah blah blah, but I'm really chuffed with impressed with what I've bought. So I just wanted to show the Dewback itself, in case you guys wanted to have a paint of your own Dewback. So look after yourselves, guys, and we'll catch each other extremely soon on another video.